Hello everybody and welcome to a very special edition of Stinky Robot Livestream. This is episode 30. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun, really fun day here. As many of you know, today is the day we do the drawing for the Livestream giveaway, which was Rusty, episode number 23. We're giving that piece away today at the end of today's stream, so stay tuned to the end to see if you won or if you want to see who won. I also have a very special surprise that we're going to be announcing at the end, so make sure you stick around to find out what that surprise is. So, yeah, let's just not hesitate today. Let's jump right in, get drawing. We're going to knock out the drawing first, then we'll do the, we're going to do the artwork first, then we'll do the drawing later. So, really excited about today's live stream, guys. As always, Stinky Robot Livestream brought to you by StinkyRobotArt.com. That is my personal website. If you want to jump over there to see some more of my work, see what my larger body looks like, and pick up some prints, or if you want to buy these live stream art, they're also on sale there at the website. So guys, let's not wait too long. We'll jump in here. Let's get started. I'm ready to do the drawing at the end, so stay tuned. Let's see who won the piece, shall we? Alright, we'll switch over. Let's do the artwork. As a sneak peek, as many of you know, or have you don't know, this is Rusty. This is the piece we're going to be giving away at the end of today's live stream. So, super excited about that. And if you did not get a chance to get entered into this contest, don't worry guys. Make sure you can always, there'll be further opportunities in the future. We're going to do a lot of drawings and giveaways here on this channel. So, you got to make sure you're subscribed. So now is a good time to reach down, subscribe to the channel. You can also tag that bell notification so you know every time we go live and don't miss any announcements for future drawings or giveaways. As well as that thumbs up. That button's down there, and that just shows me a little bit of love, lets me know you found my video, that you've watched me, and that you're interested in what I'm doing. So if you at least reach down and hit that thumbs up, if nothing else, I would greatly appreciate it. You guys are all awesome here. Which is why I don't mind giving away my art. Okay, so where are we going to start today? No idea, but let's just jump in and get started, shall we? Let's start with... maybe today's not a robot day. Let's mix it up a little bit, shall we? Let's see. Maybe it is, I don't know. We're gonna doodle and just see where it goes. I feel like a skull today. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to draw some kind of skull today. And do something fun with it. I'm not sure what. We'll see if we can make it a little bit stinky-fied. Sketching the lines right now. We're gonna piece everything together as we go. We may not be drawing the most accurate skull. I'm doing it kind of from memory here, so let's see how this goes. I'm definitely not quite as known for my skulls as other things, but I still enjoy drawing them from time to time. So yeah, if you missed why we're doing the drawing, I'm not sure what's going on there. A little fill in. So we've reached our first milestone and I'm super happy about it. We're a young channel. We've just started going live a few weeks ago and we've been posting for maybe a few years, but just a video here, a video there. Never really took the channel overly seriously, but recently we're trying to step up our game and produce more on the Stinky Robot live stream side of things, at least, and putting out a lot of other content, other videos, videos on the paintings being created, the bigger works, and all this and that. But as far as the live stream goes, we've hit a new milestone, and we're just crossed over 100 subscribers, which is the very first one. The next one's 500 subscribers. So to celebrate our first 100, we announced our first giveaway on this channel. So yeah, pretty darn excited about this. Our next milestone, like I said, will be 500. So it's not too late to jump in. You can always subscribe now. We will be having another announcement. It's not just the 500. I think we're going to be doing random drawings throughout the channel. Just I may have the win one day. You go, you know what? We're giving this piece away. So I will be doing random things like that, and then we'll have bigger drawings and bigger giveaways when I get to say 500 and 1,000. Kind of in my mind, I know what I'm going to do, but we're not going to quite announce what we'll be doing those. But I can tell you that we're going to step up each drawing as we progress. First 100, we're doing one of the live stream giveaways. For 500, we'll do something a little more grandeur, and for 1,000, we'll definitely step up our game and do something really special for 1,000. And each time we hit a milestone, we're thinking after 1,000 we'll probably do a 5,000. But each one of those will escalate on the really coolness of what we're giving away. I guess the coolness factor, because I don't want to say too much just yet, but I have some ideas of where I want to go with it. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, you definitely should reach down and you should subscribe. Consider subscribing, because it's gonna be a lot of cool things that you're gonna miss out on if you're not. And we can dive in a little bit more about the purpose of the channel. We're waiting on some people to show up here to chat and talk to us. You know, here on Stinky Robot, we're trying to build up a small community of like-minded artists who enjoy drawing. Not that they enjoy drawing robots. That's not a prerequisite at all. They just enjoy art. They enjoy creating or watching art be created. Not say you have to join us, but I would encourage everybody to, you know, even if you're just a hobbyist or even if you're a complete and absolute amateur, grab a pencil and a piece of paper. You know, grab a stack of crayons. Have your kids draw with us. You draw with us. There's no age limit here. And just play and expand your abilities to draw and to sketch and to concept, and just overall have a good time creating something cool that you did with your own two hands. You know, whether you're an amateur or if you can be a seasoned artist, if you just want to better yourself and you want to sit down and do a daily drawing and push yourself to just kick out a new piece of art in a few hours every single day just to see how far you can expand your own abilities, then absolutely join us here. Grab whatever medium you want. I mean, if you want to do oil painting, my goodness, do oil painting. If you want to do charcoals, grab charcoals. Grab whatever supplies you have. Don't feel like you have to spend a bunch of money and like go out and buy the acrylic inks and the same stuff I'm using. By all means, if you want to, I have some I'll recommend you. Just ask me and I'll tell you what I'm using here on the channel. But I like to create a small community of artists that we kind of get together whenever and draw with me. Just to create, just have a little bit of fun. And that's all we're really trying to do here on the channel. But the hidden agenda and the main reason behind it I was going to tell you the real hidden agenda is I want to better my own abilities. You know, this creating daily, it betters my work immensely. You know, getting ready for this drawing this evening, or this afternoon, I guess, whatever time we get to drawing here, is I laid out all the artwork, and it was crazy just watch. I'm now on, we're now on live stream number 30. I have 30 pieces of art now that I've created just over 30 days, and I can already tell, like, I'm using pretty much a new medium. Like, these acrylic inks I use, I haven't fiddled with them too much. I've done a little bit, but minimal, to say a little bit. Minimal at least, But I'm starting to really figure out this medium now. I'm starting to get a hang of what I'm doing and the limitations, and then some of the things I can do that I couldn't do when I first started. Which brushes work better for which techniques, wet and dry ratios. So I've really been able to expand on what I'm able to accomplish, and that's exactly why I'm doing it. That is exactly the reason behind it. Now again, I'm drawing this skull from memory. It's not something I specialize in. I don't draw a lot of skulls, so don't hate on me for not being completely correct on proportions, or like, hey, you didn't draw this mandible right, or this right. Don't hate on me too much. Today I'm just having fun and decided I draw a skull. Which is what we can do in the channel. I'm not beholden to any certain drawing style, or I'm not beholden to any certain drawing subject matter. I do primarily draw robots here on the channel because, it's in the name, Stinky Robot Art. That is what I do. As I draw a ton of robots. But there's a lot of things I draw with the robots. I draw animals, I draw skulls, I draw flowers, plants. A lot of things I add too. So it's to my benefit to be more of a rounded artist. And I am hoping we may have a little bit late showers. People I'm assuming might show up a little late today. That's to be expected. We're just transitioning. If you just found it, this is the first day of our new time schedule. We were going live every day at 11:30, and we bumped it all up an hour to starting today. So as of today, we go at 10:30. So there's a few people who might be showing up a little bit late today. Trying to decide how Hey, what's going on, WT? Good to see you remember which time we were starting today. Or you got the notification. I think you're one of those that have the notification turned on, which is awesome. If you don't have the notification turned on, now's the time. Hit that bell notification down below so you know exactly when we go live every day. You ready for the drawing and see how the contest turns out? I know you got your name in there. Yep, awesome. Notification on. Deal. Yeah, as soon as I'm done with the drawing today, we are going to jump in. So I'll probably try to make today's drawing a little bit quicker. That's why I kind of decided to do a skull. We can knock it out a little bit faster, I think. That's the assumption, not the promise. The assumption is I can knock it out quicker, so that we'll be ready to do the actual drawing today. Alright, so we have a skull now. Not a bad skull for a 13-minute sketch, so let's see. I very rarely put the bottom jaw on it. I mean, I could, but it's just not something I typically do. Could. Yeah. I don't know. Ah, you're working on your house today, huh? Well, don't worry. If you don't get a chance to see if you won or not, I will email the winners. So, so those who aren't watching, they'll be notified if they have won. But yeah, it's worth going back and watching because I am going to add a little bit of surprise today with the drawing. I'm not just doing, yeah, oh, I don't want to say too much just yet now, but yeah, there's going to be a bit of a surprise near the end. So, those who can watch to the end, that'd be great. If you can't, that's not a big deal. I'll notify you via email if you want or not. And you can always, I imagine you'll go back and kind of watch the end of the video when you get a second, just to see how the drawing went. Alright, let's do something fun with the skull. What are we going to do? That is the question. So how is the house coming, by the way, WT? How close are you to being finished? We're just gonna add some jewels all over it, you know. Jewels would be cool, I think. July, huh? That's not bad. You'll be in there before the end of the summer. That's good. Our neighbor just got done. He had a painting crew over here all last week and just did a full repaint of his house next door, and I'm like, now my house looks severely in need of a paint job. I was like, I've been talking about doing it for like the last 2 summers. Like, I gotta get the paint on my new house. I gotta get paint on my house. But I just keep putting it off, and I know now's the time to do it. I need to get out there and really, that'd be a really good time to get the paint on, but not sure it's gonna happen this season. Okay. Just add some decorative elements here to this skull. I think we're just gonna kind of make a nice, neat, decorative skull thing today. Gotta do it quickly because remember we don't want to spend too much time on this portion of it. We need to add some decorative elements quickly and call it good. So I have one other idea on this right now that may take a little more time. We'll see at the end if I finish this up. It's something I want to add. I've been living for a little while looking. I've had the one I did on Friday, our redheaded gal. Friday's drawing. Tell you what, the more I look at it, I look at my wife. I'm like, honey, what do you think of this one? Because I was torn. When I was doing the piece, I was kind of like, oh man, this is not going the way I wanted to go. And it just goes to show you, sometimes you push through it. You're like you lose faith in yourself, you lose faith in a drawing, but if you finish it up, you push through it, it can change your perspective on it. And I asked my wife, I was like, what do you think, honest opinion? And she's like, I think that's my favorite one. Like, other than Rusty, which she gave me a bunch of flack again about not letting her have Rusty. And I asked her, I said, yeah, you know, if I had to pick out of all of them, because we had them all laid out, all the ones, at least the ones I still have that haven't found new homes yet. Of the ones I still have around, I had them all laid out. We were looking them over, and she's like, yeah, that's my favorite one besides Rusty. That one right there. And so, yeah, I mean, I was a little hard on myself, I think, on Friday, thinking it was just not going the way I wanted it to go. But we pushed through, and now, I'll tell you what, once I got the hair on there, it just changed. It brought it all together, and it made more sense, and now it's a phenomenal piece. So I'm glad I pushed through it. And that's one of the things I'm learning. I'm teaching myself. I know this. I know I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't be so hard on myself, and I should push through these things. But you know, knowing and practicing are two separate things. Now you can kind of like a diet. You know what's good for you, what's not good for you, what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat, but you still somehow that Butterfinger bar finds its way into your shopping cart. You know, you justify things real easily. And a lot of times in previous works that I've justified quitting early or giving up on a piece when I'm like, no, I justify ending it when I should have persevered, pushed through it. And the outcome would have been a lot better in the end. And I'll tell you what, I'm happy with it. All right, here we go. I'm mumbling a little bit today. I'm just excited for the drawing at the end. I want to try to get this piece done quick. I want to get the drawing done. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. All right, here we go. I like the idea. Do some jewel eyes. Bad idea. different kind of jewel eyes that I normally do on the channel. Am I a little far over? I'm going to scoot everything over just a little bit. Not quite centered up in this eye. Pull everything over. And about right here. You guys are just showing up. Today is contest day, so at the end of this live stream, we will be actually doing the drawing for the Rusty piece. Pretty excited about that. It is for the subscribers of the channel. They had a chance to enter in the competition, and it was to celebrate going over 100 subscribers. If you are interested in entering one of my drawings, I will be doing several on this channel. Sometimes I'll be doing big drawings for benchmarks, and I'll be doing other little drawings or just randomly giving stuff away just for fun. But I'll be doing that only to my subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, now's your chance. Hit that subscription button. Make sure you're eligible for the next drawing that we do here on the channel, so that you don't miss out. All right, we got a little, some jewel eyes. I think we're just gonna kind of add some I'm gonna keep this one pretty darn simple today, I think. Nice and easy, because I want this to be a quick drawing, a quick stream, so that we can get to the fun part and have the giveaway. Let's add a little bit. Let's add some maybe some crystals down here at the bottom, just for fun, and then we can get to the drawing. Okay, maybe just a couple random crystals. Okay, fine. Now let's make them look like crystals, shall we? Crystals, crystals. Again, one thing to always remember on this channel is we are trying to do things quickly, as quick as we can, but yet giving everything that the drawing needs to look like a nice, decent piece of art. That's kind of the trick, is balancing speed with need. Sometimes there's certain things that the piece just needs in order to look its best. And balancing that is always the trick. Nope. I think this is the second time I've ever attempted crystals. Kind of push it into an area that I've attempted before. I think I did a decent job with it last time. So we're going to try again. Something kind of fading into the ground a bit. Okay. All right. It's quick and easy today. Just like that. We're gonna move in. We're gonna ink it. We got our drawing set up. Some crystals and some skulls. Let's do a quick outline of it. And let's ink this sucker in. And we can get to doing the fun stuff. Of course, the fun stuff today being the drawing that we will have in just a moment. going on? Yeah, there's quite a few to choose from. Absolutely. Well, my suggestion is just go ahead and buy them all. You know, can't decide, just buy them all. Then you can rotate through them. You know, just 2 on your wall at a time. The rest of them in storage, and just rotate every week or so. No, we're moving a few of them, so just FYI. I want to pick pretty quick. Let me know so I can hold those ones back for you. If you guys do decide to purchase any of these live stream drawings through the website, just fair warning, they are set at blind boxes, so that I don't have to basically every day when I'm doing a live stream put a new piece of art out, because that's just gonna have. I'm doing so many of these, it's gonna really flood my my originals page. So what I've decided to do is I'm selling these all as blind boxes, so that way I don't have to literally live on my website updating it constantly. So there are blind box drawings. If you want to be surprised on which one you get, you can go ahead and just do a direct purchase, in which case you'll get a random piece of art sent out to you, and which can be a lot of fun in its own right. Get a surprise package that shows up in the mail, and then when you but if there's one your heart's set on, if you're like, oh man, you know what, I really like the redheaded girl that he did last time on episode 29. I love that redhead. I gotta have her. If that's the case, then go ahead and when you go to the website, just hit contact and just write me a quick email saying, hey, I'm wanting to purchase one. My name, it'll give me your name, and I'll know I know your name's Bob and you really like the redhead. So I'm like, okay, well, when you order it, I'll make sure that you have it. I'll send you an email, say she is available or she's not available. And if she's available, I'll put your name on it, earmark it for you. And when you make that blind box purchase, when I see your name come through, I will send you that particular one. So it's not like it has to be a blind box. It just, if there's a one you really want, by all means, shoot me a message through my contacts on the website, and I will make sure to set that one back for you. Now, remember, it may have already been sold, in which case I'll let you know, like, hey, I'm so sorry. The redhead's already sold. There's another piece that you're interested in, and we can work with you to try to get you one you want. But we will try to work with you for sure. I'm not beholden to the whole blind box idea. Some people actually do not like the blind box. I've had several people say that to me, like, oh, you're doing blind boxes? I'm really not big on that idea. Well, I'm like, that's not a problem. Just shoot me a message. And if a particular piece is available, then not a problem at all. Now, a side note though on that, one thing I would say is if there's a particular piece you want, I do recommend contacting me first before you make the purchase, just to ensure that I don't, package and ship out a piece before you've had a chance to tell me which piece you want. So definitely contact me first, and when I say, yeah, I have that piece, then go ahead and make the purchase, and I will know, I'll match up the names, and I'll make sure you get the piece you want. So contact me first, then make the purchase after I've said, yes, I do, or no, I don't have that piece. Just to make sure that you don't get the wrong piece in the mail. That's if there's any left, of course, because WT is going to buy them all because he's collecting all of the pen pieces. So hopefully he'll leave one for you. And knocking these crystals really quick. Might have to cheat just a little bit on these crystals and go back and look at the previous crystal work I did just to kind of make sure I'm doing the right thing. I don't actually have any references in front of me today for crystals. I had not planned on drawing crystals, sure. But I got that one piece I've done crystals on in the past, so I'll kind of use it as a reference guide. But I did research crystals when I did that piece, so. And I give you a chance to get a sneak peek of my next video coming out. And your daughter is doing Pokemon, huh? She excited for Easter? You know, my kids are ready. Drawing random things in the long run really kind of help you out too. I mean, even though I'm doing like a random skull today, and there's no real purpose or need behind it, just a randomized skull, but maybe it's gonna find its way into a future piece. You know, I never know where one drawing may possibly lead. A skull today may lead to a painting, you know, this thing may find its way into a painting in the future. Now I can look back at reference material and ideas when I'm fleshing out a painting, and I'll have this guy available to me. Okay. Crystals. That's outlined. Let's erase it. Let's ink it. See where we go from here. Again, we're going to try to be quick with this one today. I mean, it may turn out to be a 3-hour live stream, but I would prefer it not to, because I want to do the drawing. Kind of my emphasis today is to get to the drawing. But who knows? Looks flat right now, but we'll see if we can't actually put 3-dimensional elements in this and bring it to life. This is just the outline. Right now, it's just a raw, simple outline. We will be boosting it up. Let me grab something real quick. I'm gonna kind of use a little bit of this for our reference today. I am currently editing the video on this, so there's gonna be a making of video coming out on this one next. This one's called the Crystal Stag. It's another one of my miniature paintings. But it has a chest full of crystals, so I'm gonna kind of play off of those crystals when I work here, because that's the only other time I've done crystals. So yeah, that's gonna be our reference today. And again, the making of video will be coming out on this really soon, by the end of the week actually. So launching at some point this week will be the time lapse of that being created. All right, we're gonna wash in a real basic background and foreground. This one's gonna be a little more, the background's gonna be a little more landscape-like. Now I want to go background without actually saying background. So it's not going to be, I'm not going to do a sky and then the foreground and the grass or any, any of that. I'm just going to kind of wash it in such a way, if it works, it just kind of reads as foreground, midground, crystals. That is if I'm successful with it. Be very careful not to hit the crystals with this background color. We already did one little spot right there, but I'm going to try to be clean, because we're going to want those bright white highlights inside these crystals for sure. It's a little tougher when I got this antelope brown touching it. Light, too dark, I mean. And you'll see in a second what I'm talking about. And be quick about it, quick and nice and random. This is another phase where sometimes it can be a little frustrating. The flat phase, when you got just an outline here and there's no shading, there's no three-dimensional work happening just yet, so it looks very flat. And it's kind of like, oh man, that doesn't look like a very realistic or cool skull. That just, you know, give it time. Let's play with it. Let's push our three-dimensional aspects, light, shadows, midtones. I bet we can make it look pretty cool. I'm betting it can be pretty sweet long run. Now we're gonna come in here and add a little bit. Is the shadow side of things, so push that out a little bit. Just randomly, we'll add another color in a second just to help kind of. Again, that's what we don't want to do. Be a little more cautious. We can repair it, so I'm not concerned too much about it. But I'm using a very, very thick brush right here. I could definitely make it thinner, but we're working quick. I'm just kind of slapping this in there. I'm not going to concern myself too much. I will switch to a different brush here in a minute, but for right now, I'm not too concerned. Decent start. Let's bring a second color into that, shall we? I do believe we shall. First things first, I think we need to let a little. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Haha. All right, I'm sure we'll add that in there as a happy accident. I just kind of splattered things everywhere, didn't I? Not a big deal. I had a little too much water on the brush that time, causing it to splatter pretty heavy. We're going to add a little bit of texture to this foreground. Yes. do know that it will make a mess, and we're gonna get a little bit on our crystals, but there's no way around doing that. I was trying to avoid it. Now adding this means that it will happen, so instead of getting frustrated about it, we'll just know that it's gonna happen, and that is just fine. We're gonna easily correct that later. Okay. Probably enough. Now we're going to lightly dampen the corner of the rag, and we're going to go through here and just kind of quickly wipe off before they dry. And a lot of it's going to stay. It's going to smudge. Not a big deal. We will work it into the actual piece. The area I'm most concerned about is the crystals. But again, character. Okay. Now we're gonna quick blow dry part of this, then blot it, then I'll go over that second color. Okay, there we go. That makes a pretty dramatic difference when I do that. Now we're gonna go with the second, let's give the same brush, I guess. I go a little bit wet. Now we're gonna come in here and add a little, just to define some of this shadow a little bit more. Brushes. Little. Not a lot. Just some random light color in here. Very little. In fact, we're rubbing it on, wiping it off. And give our foreground a little bit of separation. Okay. All right, liking it. Moving on, let's get a little bit darker now, and then we're gonna pretty much bring it into this, to the background and foreground area. Just gonna get a little We get a little bit darker, like right up next to these crystals, so that with crystals we'll get a chance to really kind of pop off the surface. Don't want to get overly carried away at this point. Just kind of doing some shadow outlines around our main elements, and then we will move on. Want to have real good pop off the surface. And of course, a little bit more in here. I really want to darken that up. That's it. Just like that. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure real quick. I just realized I'm sitting there splattering away on this thing, and I got a finished piece of art right next to it. That could have been tragic, but I don't look like I got it anywhere. Luckily, this thing is varnished, so it wipes off pretty easy. But when you varnish something, you don't want to rub it down with water either, so I need to get something off right away. But it appears that I'm lucky and I did not do something stupid. So yeah, let us pay more attention to that. You guys are welcome to call me out if you see me doing something like that. Just be like, yo, your art, dude. Yeah, just let me know if you catch me doing something ridiculous. Call me out. We do not want to mess that up. Would be bad. All right, let's do some skull work, shall we? First things first, let's just kind of block the eye in. This won't be the color we're going to end up with, but we're just going to block it in with a darker color, and I've got the brown available. Let's do that. It's just kind of right here. We're going to start building it up from light to dark, working it all in until we have a nice, beautiful mid-tone color throughout the whole thing. Then we'll jump back in with highlights and shadows. And that'll be our start. Obviously, brown will not be this color inside of here. This is just a starter pack. Start here and pack in the color nice and a darker tone so that when we work with our lighter, that will be our lighter inside color. Okay. And in fact, we might just go ahead and choose this brown. Kind of start off our shadow areas anyways. And we're just kind of mocking in where our shadows are going to be. This is the muddy phase. If anybody's watched my channel before, you understand what I mean. I'm going to be creating a very muddy appearance over the entire piece. Kind of working in our shadow areas and our highlighted areas using various colors. It's going to look awfully jumbled, a little bit muddy. And then once we have a good muddy base, that's when I'll bring in those highlights and shadows, and we'll start pulling it all back out again, making it all make sense. Sometimes you got to get dirty before you can really clean things up and make it pop. This will help us define kind of our highlights and shadow pieces here. It will not all stay this monotone. We're going to definitely bring in some other colors here in a minute to make some variations. This is our starting base layer. Okay, getting a good start on it. All those people showing up in the stream today, we will be having our live stream giveaway drawing at the end. So if you've entered yourself in the contest, then you should definitely stick around and see if your name is called as one of the winners. Wish everybody the best of luck, but we are definitely going to have winners today. I have a special surprise for all those people who enter the contest, so if you're in there, you're definitely going to want to hang out to the end and check it out, because I do have a special surprise for all those entries. Or if, just throw my brush here. Or if you are interested in participating in future giveaways and drawings, which we are going to be doing quite a few out here on this channel. There's going to be random drawings, and they're going to have milestone drawings. Like today is a milestone. We hit 100 subscribers, so that's why we're doing our giveaway today. But we're going to have another milestone at 500, another milestone at 1,000. And on those, I'm going to do special giveaways. We're going to do something really special, escalating in the prizes as we go from 100 to 500 to 1,000. But we also do random prize giveaways here on the channel. Like I may just decide one day while doing a drawing that, you know what, we're just going to give this one away. And I may say that, and if I do that, you're going to want to be subscribed to the channel so that you get your chance to enter in one of the contests and see if you can be the lucky winner and take that piece home. Each one of these will come framed, or not framed, sorry, come matted, ready to be framed. So when you get the mail, all you gotta do is go out, purchase a frame, and drop it in. You'll have yourself a new piece of art for your walls. So that's pretty exciting, I think. And but you're gonna have to be subscribed to the channel to be part of one of those live stream drawings. So don't feel like you missed out your opportunity today. There will be lots of opportunities in the future because we're gonna do lots of giveaways and lots of drawings on this channel. Okay. We got the brown in there. We're gonna add a little bit of blue as well. I'm gonna have to add some little pop of color here in just a second. Right now we're pretty dull. We want to make us pop, don't we? So give me just a minute here. I'm gonna scribble in some of this blue. I think I'm gonna literally scrub in some of this blue. Light water washes and some blue here. Yeah. Don't worry about being too cautious. We're just gonna let it be random and scrub it in. Like so. We go to our highlights and shadows. This will give us some color pop to this skull. Definitely don't want it all browns and blacks and whites. We wanted to make it. We want to make it look interesting. Now, teeth. Another color. What should we? Blue up in here. Sure how much of this shows on camera. We're being real light with it. Some darker in there. Okay. Now we still gotta do these. Teeth in here as well. Okay, not gonna get too carried away again, like I keep saying. Work that blue out just a little bit darker in some areas for sure. I want that. Some areas I want to be really, really blue. One in our shadow areas. Nice deep blue shadows. The darker we get, the muddier we look, the more we can bring out to it later and make it pop. Forget, this is just our muddy layers. And we can take beauty in these muddy layers too, because there's a lot of fun making these muddy layers. You can really build up your textures and just work the heck out of it. Now there is so much as overworking, but you can work it pretty darn well. You can work it pretty darn deep in tone. You can get it really muddy and still be able to pull a lot out of it. So there is a point where you can overwork it, but don't be afraid of it. That's what I'm trying to say. You can push it pretty far. And here in a second, you're gonna see I'm actually gonna bring a third color in just a moment. But I want to get these two colors worked in nice and neat before I do that. once I get to that third color, I believe it's gonna look awesome. You can kind of see now where our dimensions are coming out, which is no longer as flat as it was. Once we start doing, really pushing our shadows and highlights here in a minute, yeah, it's gonna, should start popping out pretty significantly. All right, awesome. Awesome, awesome. If you found a video and you're liking what you see, do me a favor, reach down, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're watching, let me know you found the video. We're about to start moving a little bit out of the muddy layers, but just for randomness, I think I'm going to take this waterfall color I have here, if I can find it. Maybe I'm going to take this waterfall. Where in the world is it? There it is. It's kind of this light greenish color. But I think it's going to look really good against these jewels when I get the jewels all put in here. So we're going to throw just a little bit of highlights in this color around the skull. I think I'm planning ahead here when I know the jewel colors are going to be. This should pop pretty nice. I'm going to add this color kind of just a little on the greener side of things. Bluish green called waterfall. You can kind of picture what it's going to look like. I'm going to randomly mix this around throughout the piece. And it's going to give a lot more bluish green look to our skull at this point. But when I go against the skull, the jewels, this should really pop. You probably see how now some of this green is starting to come out. Again, we're in the muddy phase, so things are being pushed to quite muddy status. Getting pretty muddy in here, but that's a good thing. We do want this to be significantly muddy. Bits over here, a line right here. Let's line that up a little bit, that green right around the eye, right in that highlighted area. Yep, pretty darn green, just like we wanted it. Go right on this side of the teeth. Into all the highlight shadows, or the highlights on this side of the head. going to be this color green. We will do the white pen striping all the way around it, of course, but we'll pull that green out of it when we do. If you sign up for a robot today, you'll notice we are not doing a robot on today's live stream. Stay tuned, we will be doing robots in the future. Lots and lots of them. But we also draw other random things as well. We don't just stick 2 robots on this channel. Okay, here we go. We're gonna be some Payne's gray in. And we're also, even though this is not a robot, we are gonna add a little bit of gray in the piece, a little bit here and there. And I'm going to push another color that's gonna be a little bit more surprising. In fact, we're gonna do that first. Now it's gonna be a little bit of red earth. Just a little bit. I'm gonna do that right now first. We don't want to go with a lot of red earth, but I think we put that green now in there. I'm going to balance that a little bit with the earth. Red, we're going to be very subtle with it. We do not want to overdo this part at all. We're just going to come in here along the shadow side and just at some areas and add a little bit of red. And that should play pretty nice against that green. Again, we're going to be very subtle with it. We're not going to try to be overpowering at all with the red. We're going to be very strategic with our placement of it. Just enough to have some red around in the skull. We do not want any red in the teeth, though. But in the areas we do wish to keep it, we want to make sure it is a good red. We want the red to be noticeable. We just don't want it to be overpowering. And just a few areas of highlights. We're gonna have some light red tone just visible in a few of the areas. Not overpowering. Do not want it to be overpowering, so we're about done there. Okay. A little bit of red goes a long ways. Now let's jump in here to the gray. Then we can go to the light highlights and shadows. We're getting pretty close to be able to push everything. And that's when it'll start really coming to life, as always. Then we'll jump into some jewels and we're going to filigree in the jewels and get that all finished up. We're not going to be, again, keeping the theme of not being overpowering. The gray we're going to do some blending with the gray. in areas. But we don't want to be overbearing on it. Because we really like the idea of muddy, but we won't want to get too filthy, or we're never gonna get it clean again. There is a balancing act. And the only way to learn the balancing act for your own personal style is to practice. You're going to know your own boundaries the more you practice. So push it, mess up, destroy a piece, then do another one. Push it, destroy another piece. Work it through. It's either going to turn out to be amazing, or it can turn out to be a fail at the end. But push it through. All the way to the finale. Then you'll know that you can decide then what works, what doesn't work. Why does it not work? Why does this work? You know, reevaluate your own work. You should always be your hardest critic. But don't just criticize your work. Pay attention. Why did that work? Which part of this is strong? Which part of it is weak? Why is that? If you can start self-evaluating your own work, it can be the strongest tool you have to getting better. God knows I have drawn some things that just kind of sucked. I've had some really strong work come out of things that I thought were going to suck. I think I mentioned earlier about Friday's piece. I thought Friday's piece was... Boy, I was not sure why I was finishing it up. Friday's piece gave me a lot of headaches. She fought me every step of the way. She was the redheaded gal that I drew on Friday. She fought me, and boy, she fought me hard. But now I'm in love with her. I am in love with her. She turned out amazing. My wife has picked it out as one of her favorite live stream ones I've done so far. So, push it through. Alright guys, that's it. We're adding just a touch of gray. I need a little tiny bit up here on top. Gotta smooth all this out. Using it kind of like a blending agent. The light, dark, it's gray, but it really is kind of just darkening up all my other elements. All those other colors, it blends them together very nice and neatly. Alright, we're gonna call that good. Now, let's give us some shadows, and we'll kick in some highlights. Then we jewels. Alright, let's ink myself. Pretty messy here. I need another paper towel. All right. I think I'm gonna take this point right here before we go any further, because I got the Payne's gray out, and I think I want just a little bit splatter on. This can kind of get in the background, and it can get on the foreground. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's a subtle thing. Have it kind of radiating outwards, get nice and wet, so it's a little bit bigger splatters. There we go. A little thing, but it adds a lot. There we go. I like that. Again, sometimes it's the little things. Okay, redden down all the shadows. We'll make sure we don't completely cover up all the other colors that we've done. It's really tempting sometimes to push all the shadows too far. We want that red and that green to show out that we put in there. We don't want to overdo that. So this is going to be kind of take our time, pick out the right areas that just need that little bit of accentuation. And yes, I will be going with actual black, I think, in the eyes. Just use the Payne's gray and stuff on the shadows. As far as the actual eyes go, we want a really good dark. So we're going to bring in true black for the eyes and the nose, just to kind of help pull that in. Now that's not what I wanted to do. Across that highlighted nose bridge. We get a little water and we erase that right off. Never happened. No problem. Alright, let's make it look good now. Nope, let's not. Let's keep doing this. Now let's do it. True black. The eyes and the nose. Let's highlight this sucker. You guys stick around to the end. We're going to be doing our drawing. So if you've entered the contest and you want to see if you won, we will be doing that directly following the completion of this piece. So we're going to hurry up and try to finish this up. I'm anxious. I'm extremely anxious to get to the drawing, see who won. I've also planned a bit of a surprise, so stick around to see what that is. Do you think you'll like it? And you don't need to be watching today to win, so because I know there's a lot of people who work and not going to be available to see the actual live stream today. So you will be, I will email the winner. So make sure you check your email box, see if you've won. If you're not able to finish watching the entire stream, it will be placed in there. You'll see that if of course, I wish everybody the best of luck. Wish I could give away a piece for every single person who entered the contest, but unfortunately, that just won't be possible. But we're going to be having a lot more contests here on the channel. This is only the first of many. So to make sure you're eligible for any of the contests we'll have in the future, subscribe to the channel, so that you get your chance to get entered in the next drawing. And if you're wondering what this piece next to me on the upper left is, we're going to be using it here in just a little bit. I got crystals out here, and it's the only piece I've done crystals on, so I'm going to use it as a little bit of a reference guide for what I'm doing, because I don't actually have any references out. I had not planned on doing crystals. When I started this piece, I just kind of decided to do it at the last minute while we were doing the sketch. So we'll use that as a bit of reference for it. But more than that, there will also, that's the piece we're currently editing right now. This is kind of why crystals on my mind a little bit, why I decided to do crystals. I am in the process of editing that video. So it's coming out this week, the making of via time lapse. So there'll be a time lapse creation of that piece. Part of the same series that Self-Infliction was in. So if you want to know what it's going to look like, you can always click the description down below, or probably put a timestamp at the end of the video so you can watch the creation of Self-Inflicted, because this and Self-Inflicted belong in the same series, so it'll give you an idea of what the video is going to look like when it comes out. Okay. Let's give it some highlights. Where's my white? Bringing in the white now. We're going to highlight a lot of the skull, then follow that up. We're working on these jewels. We did all the mid-tone. Now we're going to come back here and we're just going to start going right back over top of all that. And but we want these colors to shine through a bit right underneath these highlights. Give us a lot of different variations in color. Pretty sharp. Cool. I'm just building up our textures and getting a little kind of painterly with it. Even though it's inks, these are acrylic inks, and we use it, I'm getting kind of painterly with it. And push out these highlights quite a bit. This is the part where in the highlights and shadow where things really start coming to life and finding their voice. Little bit there. I want to erase. Again, I can always go back with just water and erase areas that get too saturated with ink that you want it a little less. Always follow right up with some water and erase them. Now we can see how that red and that little green that we put in there really starts popping that piece out. When you add the white in, it just starts looking pretty spectacular, if you ask me. Some of these areas I don't want super bright white, I just want to go over it a little bit, so I'll work with my water ratios and I'll start working percentage of, oh yeah, a lot less ink, a lot more water. Oops. Push that up a little bit there on the Now you can see how we've gone with something that was really muddy just by adding these adding the highlights and the shadows that we're really starting to pull out now. It's the muddiness is cleaning up a little bit, becoming more and more. I don't know if realistic is the right word because it's just kind of a skull down in my memory, but looks more and more three-dimensional, more impactful. And when we had that original like little sketch, it did not look at all like this. It was just kind of a flat outline drawing. Now we've gone from the outline drawing to looking way more three-dimensional. Did you know somebody's thinking about me? Somebody out there is thinking about me. Hopefully it's good. Highlighting this side up. See, I'm just lightening. All of this color we put in, it's still staying. It's just become very muted and very light. We're not erasing everything by any stretch. Now we're just going over a few little more areas that just need a little more highlight. Okay. Pretty darn good. That looks pretty darn good. I'm ready. Always, we'll do some pen striping all the way around the outside. Mainly just on that shadow area. Is this a real nice pop right off that background right there? I'm gonna do another layer of white just on top, just to really let that white pop. Just like so. All we do is just a tiny little rim. So, and around the nose. Erase part of that real quick. I got a little, not too much. Go. The water for an eraser. Nice ink. Remember, you can't erase this ink, just use a little bit of water. Hey, what's up, Tank? Good seeing you, bud. Wonder if you're going to show up today and see if you were going to be one of our winners. I know you guys are registered and ready to go. We're going to be doing the drawing immediately following this sketch. Well, immediately following this drawing, we're going to have the contest drawing. Using that word too much today. Drawing. We're going to draw this, and then we're going to have the drawing for the contest. Find out who's going to be our grand prize winner. And again, we do have a surprise for all those people at the end that entered the contest. Okay, we got a skull. Now let's give it some crystals. Start up here. Let me get rid of some of these colors we're no longer going to need. Get them out of our way. We might need that. And we might need that. We will not need that. And okay. Those colors we may use. Alright, we're going to use Indian yellow for our base here. Yellow, and yes, we will need true black. Like I've said before, cannot use blue. Like I use a lot of blues for my shadows and my highlights and stuff. Use a lot of that blue. But you do not want to do that on yellow. You will actually need to go to black, true black, with the yellow. Reason being is yellow and blue make green, so you will end up with green shadows. Now, if that's what you want, then by all means, I would use that Payne's Gray for the shadows in yellow. But we do not want that today. Okay, let's go in here with the gold area. And block all this in real quick in yellow. part will be the gold. You must really like your doctor. You spend a lot of time with him, Tank. You need the gold tooth. Would have been a decent idea. I don't know if it's too late for me to do that now. Yeah, maybe not. I'm thinking we could probably give him a gold tooth. I don't see why we couldn't. Let's see. There we go. Now we got one gold tooth. Not a bad idea. Thank you, Tank. We'll run with that. Okay, now we're going to take this gold and this black, mix it together, and get a nice shadow color. Go too black. We want just painting in the shadow side with this muted down yellow. We will darken it here in a little bit too. Now we're just kind of picking out our shadow sides of things. Oop. Dark there. Blend that right in, not a problem. Like so. And better get some down here in our little gold tooth as well. Shadow in there. Alright. Now what we're going to do is go back into our shadow. We're going to take some almost really dark shadow now. Use it sparingly. Just in a few little touch of areas. We want to go real dark here, and just a few little areas, not the whole thing, just a few. Almost a true black. White. Take it. so. Now we're gonna bring that straight white back out and highlight. Get a little more white ink. Oh. Cat's doctor today, huh? What is the ETA on your back? When do they think you're going to be fully back to operational, air tank? Are they giving you a time frame, or are they still just wishing for the best? White highlighting real here or the top of the yellow, just kind of. Okay. There's our gold. Highlights in this gold tooth now. Cool. Let's add some jewels, shall we? Thinking about, let's see. By going blue up in the forehead. Going back with his, yeah. Now let's go the red, blue, purple. I like that. We'll go with that red one I've been doing. So I think that one's been turning out pretty awesome. That'll look good with the yellow, I think. So we'll start off with orange as a base. Go. You know, learning how to do this kind of these reflective, make these jewels look very jewel-like, and the way the light reflects in it, just takes practice. You just got to work on it and practice. I've drawn, or painted, I should say, I don't know, literally dozens upon dozens of these jewels at this point. So my jewels that I was doing 2 years ago look way different than the ones I'm doing now. It literally just takes practice. You want to work on reflections, you want to work on any skill level, you got to practice them. You got to practice. Again, coming back to the whole purpose and the premise of this live stream is not only for you, but for myself as well, to give us an avenue to practice, to build those skill sets that we desire. Techniques that I want to learn that I still don't know, and I will be practicing them right here on this live stream and getting better at them. And I encourage you guys to do the same. I'm gonna leave the little sliver of light in there because that white is gonna be help me have a true white highlight in there. If I were to ink it now, I'd have a little haze of color underneath it. But we want some areas where it's true white, so that's why that stays like that. Yep, we're still wet up there. Don't need to re-wet that. This earth red now is kind of like a base for this jewel. Kind of going for like amber colored. I think it really plays really neatly off of that gold. I like it. I was watching another YouTuber the other day, and he was talking about how his early live streams, you know, how far he's gone from his early live streams to where he's at now. He said, I'll go back. And there was one word he said, like, I didn't realize how much I used this word, but I used it over and over and over again. And I had no idea I did until I started getting better at my YouTube live streams and realized that, oh, hey, I'm repeating myself constantly. And I'm noticing that I use the word I like it a lot. Maybe I need to start pulling back on my I like it. But I do. I like it. So maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just like it. Where are we at? Sitting at 2 hours. That's not bad. I want to finish this sooner than later, though. I don't want to go too over today. I also don't want to go too dark here. Not get overly carried away with that blue. Back it on the red a little bit. There we go. A little lighter. No. I just keep working on blending these colors as I go to make a nice color shift from the dark red to oranges into yellows. Then right into that highlighted area. Right there, our highlighted area. I think I got a little heavy on the highlights, so we're gonna try to pull it back a bit. I love it. See, didn't say like I love it, but we try to pull back a little bit. That's better. You can have a little true white down here, but you really want your true white up here on the reflected highlight, more so than the cast light, because that's inside the jewel. A good way to think about it is this first pen light up top here. Shrink that pen light just a little bit. That's where, say, the light is reflecting off of. So that's going to be a very bright white. This is where the light source is bouncing. Bounces right off of there. But then inside of here is going to be the reflection of that said pen light that's on top. So it's kind of like a magnifying effect, where the sun hits the magnifying glass and then shoots the beam, but less intense. Because you're going through color, you're not going through just, you know, magnifying glasses, obviously glass, see-through. We're going through a gem or a stone that has a hue to it. So you want that magnifying effect inside of your gem, but you want to use your color shifting hue as well to make sure you get that reflection just right. Just one way to help remember why. So bright white here, light shoots inside here, and then you got a nice cast reflection from that magnified effect. 2 months, huh, Tank? Yep, 2 more months. That back. Boy. Almost like you're in lockdown all over again, isn't it? Okay, we're gonna go with the blue jewels. We'll finish with the crystals last. Question is, what blue do we want to go with? Probably we use cyan, and we'll probably have to use just maybe a little bit of purple in this. Maybe. Yep. Then of course we'll go with the darker blue as well for the shadow. So cyan, purple lake, and our indigo. Gonna be our 3 colors we're going to use now on these inner jewels. Okay, I'm going to start with blocking these in blue. We probably want to leave a little bit of white edge on these as well. Again, we want to leave space for our highlights. We're going to kind of randomly paint in just like this. Go ahead and do both eyes simultaneously here, so we can keep a coherent theme all the way throughout. One of the reasons as well, I decided to go with blue. Kind of felt like if I had gone with this, the red color in the eyes, initially I was thinking about doing, you know, you gotta remember red kind of gives a demoness effect. And I don't really want, especially a skull with red eyes, I don't necessarily want to go demon with this. I kind of want to go with just neat looking. A little less demoned. It's a skull even your mother would love. I tell you what, it's the 21st century. There's a lot of rocker moms out there. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. There's our base for our gems. Over one more time, add a little, same color, just a little bit darker into some areas. Nice. Gonna add a touch of purple. Oh, already got it out. I don't want to do much because if I add a lot of purple at this point, it's going to easily shift colors on us. And we don't want that to happen. You want just almost like just the slightest purple color shifts in some areas. Mainly, so I'm going to take it real watery, real light. It's going to be kind of more in the highlighted areas. You're going to see this purple. But it's going to be very subtle. Very subtle. Now we'll take the indigo mixed with some of that cyan because we don't want it to be pure indigo. Don't want to get too dark. Now we can Now this is a bit of experimentation as well because this is not the type of jewels I typically do. This is, I'm kind of experimenting with an idea of how to make these look good. Again, this is experimental for myself as well. I typically do this kind of jewel. I rarely do this kind of jewel. Like I stated, we're learning and practicing brand new techniques right here on the channel, seeing what works and what doesn't. What succeeds and what fails. So, and now we're going to lighten, take a very, very watery blue. Very light. Very, very light. And brush over a lot of these white spaces. Not all of them. We want to leave some pure white. But we don't want them that much white. This is where we take tone down those white highlights. A very watery wet blue. Very, very watery wet blue. We're gonna come back in a second and we're gonna go back over and bring our highlights right back in. Okay. Now back to the white, pure white. Some areas and white. Just kind of working these together. We're blending them in nicely, adding the white, some white and blue, some light blue. We're just kind of randomizing it, kind of playing, trying to think of how light will bounce around inside this jewel. We're just building it up right now. That's kind of what we're doing. As we go back over to some just raw sienna. We're just gonna blend everything back in. Playing with reflections. So that's how we're building up our jewel. Playing with reflections, playing with highlights, some bright white spots. Now I think I'm pretty close to where I want that. Maybe a little bit more here. Take some white, some blue. Dry that off right in here. Nice. And then we're almost done with this part of it. You need to add some darker blue spots. So indigo mixed with cyan. I need some darker blue. There we go. Just need a little darker blue areas. Now we're going to take our real thin brush, go white, and do our little border lines. Don't need to do all of them. We're just going to do enough to make them pop. Ooh, that looks pretty awesome. All right, now I got the jewels. And final step. Come in here. Dun. Further, let's just take a second, add a little more white here. Now we got these jewels to contend with. I'm going to be bringing in my violet. We can just, we'll keep the violet, the blue, the oranges, and the reds can go. Don't need yellow. We will not need black. Do I have black out? No. Okay, so those colors we will need. Put out some violet. Purple. Indigo. You know what? I do not believe I will be using any, probably a touch of blue. Leave that out. There is a good chance that blue might find its way back in. There is a good chance. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to refer over here to there, because that's why this piece is up here. We're going to be, I do have crystals I did in this piece, so that'll kind of give us a bit of a reference point to where I'm going with it. This is the second time I've ever done crystals, so still a bit of an experiment. And I kind of build them as we go. And we're going to work on all crystals at the same time. Try to keep a consistency throughout. One of those little tricks, sometimes if you work things, you know, one section at a time, then you can get a little bit, one section may look slightly different than another section. So a lot of times it's easiest just work across the board, building up one area at a time. But that's not a rule by any stretch of the imagination. That's just kind of guidelines. Other times you may want the variation. You want to build them up separately. Not a rule, merely a suggestion. I oftentimes break it myself. But more times than not, I use it. You know, we're trying to leave certain white spaces open, because that's where it'll allow me to do the super bright white highlights. Can't do those if I blocked it in all purple initially, cover the whole thing in purple, then tried to work out, I would not have areas where I could get that super bright white. You're going to want that occasionally, super bright whites. I guess we'll call this piece the Crystal Skull. And if you're curious, that piece up there in the left-hand corner, it's actually called a Crystal Stag. That piece is called the Crystal Stag. It is for sale if you wish to inquire about the piece. You can do that by going to my website, going to contact me, and then inquire about the Crystal Skull, or Crystal Stag, my bad. The Crystal Stag painting. It is 5 inches by 8 inches, I do believe. Double check that real quick. No, 6 inches. 6 inches by 8 inches. That's the size on the Crystal Stag, if you're interested in it. There's a series so far. I've got 5 paintings completed in the series, and I'm currently editing videos, and I'm we bring those out. And but these pieces will come framed, so there will be a handmade custom frame in each one. They're not going to look quite like this. They will actually be placed in a custom frame. So if it's something you're interested in, by all means email me and we can discuss the price and price, payment, all that good stuff if it's something you're really interested in. Again, with the just idea on these crystals, we're not trying to go insanely elaborate on them. Just again, conceptual work, of course, but we do try to make them. When I say these are conceptual pieces and I try to rush through them and I try to get them really out there, understand I'm still doing this with the idea of pushing this piece as far as I can for what it is. You know, when I say, you know, if it needs something, give it to it. Let it tell you when it's done, when it needs something a little bit more. So in the back of my mind, I always try to keep the idea that these are a sketch. Like for instance, I said, let's rush through the one. I want to get to the, you know, giveaway. But I'm still going to be close to 3 hours when I'm finished because this piece, I'm not really rushing it. I'm excited to get to the drawing. But again, these pieces are all up for sale on the website. If you wish to purchase a live stream, they are all up there. They're all available. And when I'm selling a piece of work, I want to make sure that it's solid. That it's going to be something that my customer is really going to be happy with. They're really going to cherish. Because ultimately, I want you to keep this for a long time. I want this work to, want my work to be eventually passed down from generation to generation. Every artist's dream that his work is still around 100 years from now. So I take great pride in my craft. Take great pride in trying to produce the best work that I can for the abilities I'm at that day. And I'm constantly trying to push myself to the next level. I want to level up and level up more and more. I mean, a part of that, yeah, it'd be nice to, you know, get a price increase, but it's more than that. It's pride of work, pride of craftsmanship, and that is what drives me and what should drive most artists. The idea of just crapping out work to turn a profit, it doesn't appeal to me. And I know a lot of artists that it does. They just literally are in it for trying to maximize their profit, and that's not the way it should be. You know, I do it because I love it, and I'm hoping that that translates to doing something that you love as well. By watching the live streams, you're inspired to do something you love. Kind of one of those sayings, whether I sell one painting or no paintings, I'm still going to push myself just as hard. All right, now we're going to hint of blue on here, but just a hint. I mean, again, we're gonna wet it down. Don't want to put much, just kind of like hint of blue on a few of these. Not gonna be very much. It's gonna be pretty subtle. It's gonna be but that tiny little blue will just pop it off just a little bit more than it would have without it. See, I'm just kind of touching this light blue in random locations. It's not even, I'm not even sure how dark, if it's dark enough to show up on camera or not. One thing I wish everyone could see, and where I wish I could give one to every single person who wanted a painting, or wanted one of these live streams. The difference in quality and what the camera is picking up, and part of that's probably because I'm still rocking, you know, the kit lens on it, and I probably should be paying thousands of dollars for a super high-end, you know, micro lens or macro lens and get the best image possible. And one of these days I will be doing that as money allows. There's always that weird thing called a budget. But seeing these works in person versus seeing them on the camera, it's day and night. Like, these things look really, really good in person. I'm very proud of them. I'm extremely proud, actually, of how they turn out in person. I wish I could let everybody see it. But regardless, I'm hoping if you get a chance and you win one of these pieces, and post it on social media, let people know if you like it or not. You know, let them know where you found it, where you got it. Here in about, I'd say in about 10 minutes, we're going to start doing the giveaway drawing for those who have entered the contest. So guys, if you want to know when that's going to happen, well, I'd say we're on the trailing end of this right now. We're about 10 minutes away from the giveaway drawing. You didn't get a chance to enter this contest this time. It's not too late for the next one. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That's how you'll be. It's not how you get entered. You subscribe to the channel to be eligible for the contest. So when I announce the next contest coming down the pipe, which will be quite a few on this channel, we're going to be doing them on a regular basis. I'd like to have everyone get a piece of my art, whether they paid for it through the website or whether they won it off the channel. I'd love to get my work out there to just about everybody, give everybody a chance to own one. So all you do is subscribe to the channel, and when I announce a contest, you just jump over to my website, which is right below my face right here, StinkyRobotArt.com. Jump over there, and I will always have an entry form on the homepage in order to fill out if you want to enter the contest. Now, mind you, the entry for this one is closed. I'm not taking any more entries. We're going to be pulling the live stream in just a second. I've already got the names printed out. So Sunday was the last time you could enter for this contest, but there will be ones coming up soon that you will be able to enter for. So you want to definitely hit that bell notification so you get announcements when I go live, so that when I do announce the next contest, you'll be one of the first ones to know about it. You can get your entry form in. Okay. We're going to add some white highlights to these jewels. Didn't need too much. I left it pretty. Did a pretty good job leaving the highlights as it was, so I don't have to do a whole lot here. Yeah, I gotta do very little, which is nice. Leaving that white space really helped out. Just in some areas where the background's splattered in a little bit, I want to clean that up. Cool. Yeah, that worked out pretty nice. Now I'm just going to take the thin brush. We're going to make sure we're outlined decently on the background side of things. The shadow side of things, I should say. Clean up any lines that need cleaned up. Wonder where that cat hair came from. So sometime way in the distant future, my work ever survives the test of time, they're going to be able to look back and find out if that's a real Michael Smell drawing or a real Michael Smell painting. There's going to be one DNA marker that will always be true. I believe that every piece of art that comes out of my studio, somewhere embedded into the paint or somewhere embedded into the varnish, the cat hair or dog hair. You you have animals, you can't avoid it, especially if you're doing art, painting media, anywhere near a household that has animals, or if you go to an external studio and you have a cat at home, you still got cat fur in your painting. So they'll be able to DNA test the paintings and find out, oh, that guy had, you know, this cat or that cat. It will happen, because if you look at any of my paintings, just look at it real closely, you'll be like, oh, there's a cat hair. They're in there. You can't avoid it. I'll just claim I do it on purpose. I secretly hide a cat hair in every paint. And I won't be so much in these because these are not varnished. The ink media does not hold up to it, but in my heavy body acrylics and my, especially that I varnish them when I'm finished. They're hidden. They're there. Right, we're just about there, guys. We're super, super close. I'm gonna chalk that up to good. All right, guys, we're gonna finish it off. We're gonna sign it, peel it. Let's do an outliner on this one, I think. Sign, peel, and then it is time to start setting up for our drawing. I think that's the pen I want. Adding a little random detail work to it. Okay. It looks. Just a little bit of random pen scratching. Sounds a bit ridiculous, but when you pull it off the tape, it looks pretty awesome. That'll be done with that. You need the signature, guys. Peel and reveal. And guys, I hope you guys are ready. If you enter the contest and you jumped in, ready to watch. Did you see if your name was drawn? Or you come back and watch this after the fact to see if your name was one of the winners. We're about to draw for Rusty, and I have a bit of a surprise, so. You guys guys are ready for it. I know I've been waiting for this all last week. I've been waiting for this moment. Last peel done. We did a skull today. It turned out pretty awesome. This was a non-robot day. We will not always be doing robots on this channel. We'll be doing quite a few other things. Still want to draw a squirrel. Don't know why, but squirrel. I feel like a squirrel is in my future. Hey guys. We can get rid of the crystal skull and we'll look, or the crystal stag here. Put that aside. And look at this piece. We're gonna jump over real quick discussion. So that's this piece finished up. Hope you guys like it. Before we jump into the actual contest drawing, what do you think? Today's live stream? Yeah, pretty awesome. We'll just call this one the Crystal Skull. And that's our Crystal Skull here from Stinky Robot. Again, if you're interested in this piece, if this one you really want to purchase, you could jump over to my website. I do have them as blind box purchases. You buy one and you'll get a surprise what shows up at your door. That's the way I'm going to be marketing them on my website. So if you want to jump in and do a blind box and just get a random one sent into your house so you can open it up and like Christmas morning find out which live stream art piece you got, you can jump over my website and find that there on the original art page on my website at stinkyrobotart.com. But if there's one piece you really are interested in and you gotta have, say, this crystal skull, or you gotta have, you know, the redhead from last Friday, or there's a piece that you absolutely love and that's the one you want, you're welcome to go into the contact page on my website, shoot me a quick email before you actually make your purchase and say, hey, Michael, is the crystal skull still available? I'm interested in purchasing that one. And if it is, I will hold it for you and say, yes, the crystal skull, I'll put your name on it. Then you can go over to the original page, order it, and I'll know that, you know, hey, Johnny really wanted the crystal skull. So when I get the order for Johnny, I go, oh, that's his, and I'll ship it off to you. Make sure you get the piece that you want. But remember, email me or through the contacts on my website first before you make the purchase, just to make sure that, because if I get it before, if you buy it before you contact me, I may have already packaged one up for you and shipped it out. We don't want that to happen. We want to make sure that you get the piece of art you want. But again, if you want to get a blind box and just get surprised like Christmas morning, by all means, hit the blind box option and I will pick a really nice piece for you and I will ship it out to you, and I hope you'll enjoy it. All right, guys, at that, Crystal Skull is finished. We're going to jump right back over to this view. I'm going to go ahead and turn off our timer. We will not need that. And it is time to set this piece aside and do what we've come for, and that's the contest. So I'm pretty excited. We had 16 entries into the contest, which is pretty awesome. Hopefully you can see there's all the names right there. Hopefully it all shows up good in the camera. I will go ahead and list it off for you in a second, tell you what number you are. So we had 16 entries into the contest. And again, you had to be a subscriber to win. And so what we're gonna do today is, I'm not just gonna give away one piece of art. As you know, this is the piece everybody's been in for, and that's this piece right here. That is Rusty. Rusty is going to be the grand prize. So here's what the grand prize will be, the final last drawing. We're going to do 3 drawings. The first drawing we're going to do is going to be for this piece. So me and my family sat down this weekend and we laid out all the artwork, and we had a little discussion about what we thought would be the best 3 pieces to give away. So not just one. So of these 16 people, will have 3 chances to win instead of 1. And this is live stream number 2, the Mohawk piece. The reason we chose this piece, we thought it was a good example of how you can do the color shifting throughout the piece and reflection. We thought that was one of the strongest pieces that that showed that ability. So that is why this one will be the first giveaway. We'll draw for this one first. Secondly, we're going to draw for this one. This is the snake ball. We chose the snake ball. So it'd be one of our best examples, and it's one that's not actually a robot. So we wanted to give away it wasn't a robot. and we chose this one. So we went back and forth out of all the live streams we still had available, and these are the ones we chose. So this will be the second prize. So we'll have, this will be the second runner-up, this will be the first runner-up, and then for the grand prize at the very last drawing will be Rusty. And out of all of them, we still think that Rusty is probably the best example of one of our robots. He is the mascot here, and my wife's by far the favorite piece. So that's why he's the grand prize, because that's the one my wife wants the most. So that is our absolute grand prize, guys. All right, here we go. And what we're gonna do for this prize, we'll start here. This will be the very first drawing we're gonna do. And you can see each one is coming in a mat. So all you have to do when you receive it is get a 9 by 12 inch frame, a piece of glass, put it together, and you have yourself a piece of art to hang on your walls. So this is gonna be our list right here, guys. And I had, down in our little game room, a bingo set. So I have a bingo set. I have 16 balls in here. They're listed number 1 through 16. So we'll spin the wheel, it'll drop out a ball. And when your ball matches up with your name on number-wise, then you are our winner. Number 1 is gonna be, oh, before we get started here real quick, let's kill our live stream music. We don't need that on anymore. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna call out the name so you know what number you are. So number 1 is Foul Swamp Witch. You are ball number 1. Tattoo Tank, you're gonna be ball number 2. Justin Wools, you're ball number 3. Cat Tabor Art, Cat, you're gonna be ball number 4. Jason Chanley, you're gonna be ball number 5. BB Arts is ball number 6. John Hoskins II, you are ball number 7. Dwarves Are Sprinters is ball number 8. Heather, you're going to be ball number 9. Tiffany B, you are ball number 10. Van Stromey, you're going to be ball number 11. Susan Peters is ball number 12. WT, you are ball number 13. Caitlin Peterson, you are ball number 14. Reptile Queen is ball 15. And Funk Atan, you are going to be 16, ball number 16. So P Funk Atan, that's you, number 16. All right, guys, we have our numbers. That's our chart here. We're going to draw, and I'll announce them one more time as we go. Let's get a pen here so I want to be able to mark down my winners. Make sure we know who won what. Okay. Oh, not so fast, not so fast. Mix our balls up here a little bit. And our first ball is dropped out. So ball number 1, the first ball is going to be number 11. So let's see if I can get it close to this camera so you can actually see it. Hope you can see right there. That is ball 11. The ball 11 is Van Stromey. Van Stromey, you got... Okay, Van Stromey, you have won the very first one. So this piece is yours. It'll be shipping off in the mail. I'll send you an email that you know that you have won the Mohawk. That is yours. All right, second runner-up, guys. Second runner-up, we're going to go with Snake Ball. So this one is for Snake Ball. Give it a little spin here. We got ball number 2. Ready? Here we go. Well, not ball. I keep saying ball. The second ball is going to be number 14. If you can see that on camera right there. Number 14 is Caitlin Peterson. That 2 stars. We know that's the second drawing. So Caitlin Peterson, that is yours. You have won Snake Ball. Congratulations. And here we go. Last and final one, guys. This is the one that's all going for. And I know a few of you that are really hoping to get it. And I'm rooting for you. I really am. But I have no control over the power of the balls. All right. This is it. Ready? There it is. Up there on top of that wheel. Right there. She's ready to drop. Is this your number? I hope so. And we are going with ball number 8. So ball number 8, guys. That one is Dwarves Are Sprinters. That's Dwarves Are Sprinters. So you are going to officially be getting Rusty. That is yours. So I know a bunch of you were hoping for it. I was rooting for you, but I have no power over the drawings. I want to make sure to keep it as fair and as square as I humanly can. Guys, I know a lot of you watch the channel. I know a lot of you subscribe to the channel. There's going to be more drawings coming up. We're going to be doing a lot of drawings here on the channel. And as we reach the 500 subscriber mark, we're going to be doing something even more special than one of these drawings for the 500 subscriber mark. So make sure you get subscribed to the channel, get your chance to win with these drawings. These drawings we'll be doing randomly. I may say, randomly I might be saying, hey guys, I love this piece. Let's just give it away. This is going to happen on the channel. We're going to be giving away a lot of art. So I encourage everybody here to show up and subscribe to the channel so that I'll let you know when the next drawings are going to be, give you a chance to win. And I'll tell you one thing, when I've got a big idea for 1,000, that's the big goal right now. We've got to get to 1,000 subscribers. So we'll do something awesome for 500 subscribers, and we're going to do something really kick-ass for 1,000 subscribers. I have a lot of good ideas in my head. So stay tuned. Get subscribed to the channel. Definitely nail that thumbs up if you guys get a chance to. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I appreciate everything. I will email the winners. Congratulations, guys. Till next time. Have a good day.